Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 3. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode where we properly get the league kick started. Season 2 since we've been in Spain, Season 3 overall. And after last year's disappointment of winning the league but not getting promoted this season, we need to do everything we can to absolutely smash every single opposition. There are a couple of things to talk about in today's episode though. First things first is we've got some new kits at the club, as you can see up here, and I'll put some more close screenshots on the screen right now because of course we've got some new sponsors at the club in OneFootball. It just made sense to have some beautiful new kits. The home kit is absolutely fantastic, very similar to the current home kit, but it's just got some lovely detailing on there. And the away kit, well, I think Andre Shittigel has got involved with this away kit because it's got the red and the green and the white of the Belarus flag. So I feel like somewhere along the way, in his match-fixing ways, Andre Shittigel has come along and he's fixed that kit to be basically a Belarus kit. Do need to say a massive thank you to Requester Kits over on Twitter. He's the guy who's made these kits and they look absolutely phenomenal and they look even better in game as well. But the reason that we've got these kits is of course because today's video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is an app that allows you to follow all the latest news and all the latest live scores from football games around the globe straight to your phone. You can get push notifications to give you alerts on all the teams that you want to get notifications on, whether that be Lincoln Red Imps in Gibraltar or your favourite team or your team that you're playing as in Football Manager. You get all the team news, you get live updates from the game, all the goal scorers, all the players substituted, all the players who get sent off, everything like that. It's such a great tool to keep up to date with the football. So I would massively appreciate if you could all download the OneFootball app via the link at the top of the description. So hopefully these kits are going to bring us plenty of happy memories over the next couple seasons or so whilst we're sponsored by OneFootball. Obviously there has been a bit of transfer news since you guys were last here. The transfer special, the transfers we did, I wasn't overly pleased with them, so we took a little bit of time to bring 2 more players into the club, and it just was a matter of time of waiting for more scout reports to come through on players to bring in on loan. We brought 2 players in on loan, but we have sold someone as well. As you can see on screen right now, bids were coming in for Randy Schneider, and he kept putting pressure on me to leave the club. He wanted to go elsewhere, and if I'm honest with you, with the club in the financial state it's in right now, we've kind of just had to let it happen. So he has gone to join Getafe in La Liga for £475,000. However, we are going to get 50% of percentage of the next sale. So whatever they sell him for, we get 50%. And he is coming back this season on loan to try and help us get promoted. So we're not saying goodbye to him just yet. On the inside, we have brought 2 players in on loan as well. We've got Roger Martinez in from Espanyol. He's in on loan and he is a centre midfielder, can also play CDM. 3.5 stars of current ability, although actually looking at most of his roles, 3-star current ability, same in CDM as well. So he's a very good rotational option for us to come into midfield. He's probably the best player that we've got in on loan. So we did have a bit of trouble bringing players in, and I think next season we're going to have to learn from that and try and do something a little bit better. But Roger Martinez is a great lad, and I think he'll do very well for us. Only 18 years old as well, I should add. Only 18 years old too. And we've also brought in George or Jorge Hernando from Osasuna, also on loan. He's a centre-back, so just a bit more cover at centre-back for us. Offers quite a physical presence at the back as well, with a left foot as well, so plays on the left-hand side of the defence, and has got very good passing, marking, tackling and heading. So I think he's going to be a great player for us. So only 2 players coming in there, and I think they're going to make a bit of a difference for us. I don't think they're going to make a huge sweeping difference, but overall, I think I'm overall happy with the majority of the squad that we've got. Obviously, when the transfer window closed as well, a few players were a bit cross with me. One, because we promised some players that were going to go on loan, even though they are playing football for us this season. So as you can see, these promises were not kept. Anthony Ward was unhappy because he wanted to leave the club apparently, but literally hours after he was unhappy with us, he's decided to withdraw his formal transfer request. So that was a little bizarre. I've also gone and played a few games since you guys were last to try and get the season up and going, and it's been mixed, I must say. You can also see from here that we have experimented with the formation a little bit. More on that very soon. We lost the first game of the season 3-2 to Malaga B, Kike getting both the goals in that game, but he came back with a hat-trick, including a goal in the 96th minute to make sure we get a 4-3 win against Merida, playing a 4-3-3 formation in that game. We then had another win against a team called Algeciras, which I'm really butchering massively. They were relegated from the division above us last season, so it's great for us to get a 2-1 win there, with Joaquin Gabilondo getting his first goal for the club and Randy Schneider scoring another penalty very late on in that game. Subsequently, we have had 2 draws, a 0-0 with Atletico Salaqueño and then a 1-1 draw with El Ejido. What those results mean, and it's not been a spectacular start to the season, 2 wins, 1 draw, or 2 draws and 1 loss. It puts us 10th in the table, which is actually pretty poor to be fair. But if we look at the season preview, we are now predicted to come first in the table. Literally a game ago, we were predicted to come third. So obviously, maybe someone else has sold a player or something like that. But we are predicted to come first with the team that we've got. So really, we should be sweeping this league under the table. Today, we've got 2 games coming up against a team that was relegated from last season, CD Marino, and then Linares from last season, who were actually pretty decent, I think. So jumping into this game, I've decided that maybe a 4-3-3 might be a good option for us. I was looking at the team, I was looking at who was good, and essentially we've got some very good strikers, some very good centre mids, some very good centre backs, and that's kind of it. We've got no one decent in other areas. So it just kind of made sense to me to try and play a 4-3-3. We do score goals using this. As you saw, the 4 goals we scored in one of the games. We also concede quite a few because we only won that game 4-3. So still a little bit of work to do defensively on this one. Potentially a couple of tweaks to make as well. Raul and Kike, for example, they stay wider to try and just create a bit more of an attacking. I don't really know if that's going to work or not, but I've got it on for now at least. But we're going to try it today against Marino, so hopefully we get a good result. We've got Anthony Ward in goal with that backline of Brito, Hernando, Dobrievic and Gabilondo. We've got Shitijel, Schneider and Cipollina through the middle with Kike, Taylor Crosdale and Raul Jr. up front. So then, kickoff is upon us here today. We are the late kickoff, and apparently, as it stands right now, just drawing, we go from 10th up to 6th, which is pretty mad. Marino with the first highlight of the game, and as you can see, our new kits in game are looking really nice. You can't quite see them properly from this sort of angle, but we can get a closer angle if we go behind the goal. Unfortunately, we have just conceded though, which is pretty poor. Speaking of our kits as well, we've gone from white shorts to black shorts now, which I think is a really smart change to the squad and things like that. As it's a decent goal. If we switch things up to go, if we go behind the goal and like really zoom in massively on this, also if we pause the game, oh look, you can't quite see it there. Wait, let me get a good look there. You can look, you can see it. It looks really nice in game. You can see the One Football logo on the shirts and things like that. So I think this is a great addition to the game. I think. Oh, we've just scored as well. I was pressing the play button again and we couldn't really see because we are so far zoomed in. We'll go back to sideline and we'll watch this basically. But I think Kike just got his... I don't think the camera could keep up with the ball basically. But Gabilondo puts the ball into the middle and Kike gets his noggin on it at the far post, as you can see, into the back of the net. Fantastic stuff. There is 6th of the season already. Throw in for us with Ethan Brito putting the ball into absolutely no one, but the ball is only cleared as far as Michael Cipollina. Michael on the ball plays back to Hernando up towards Kike, and Kike looking for his 2nd of the game, 7th of the season. Only goes and gets it. Hernando, obviously the new centre back we've got, that I think is his first assist as well, so that's fantastic for him to get that ball forward to Kike to score the goal. I think this 4-3-3 that we've got going, I think it really will just end up being we're going to try and outscore the opposition sort of tactic rather than let's try and keep a clean sheet and win 1-0 sort of tactic. I can't quite get the balance between, you know, scoring plenty of goals and not conceding many goals at all. So I feel like it is going to be one to outscore the opposition, as we've scored another goal here with Martel Taylor Crosdale getting his 1st of the season. And can we grab a 4th before half time, as well as Ethan Brito into Randy Schneider, who puts the ball forward to Raul Jr. And Raul Jr. now getting in on the score sheet as well, his 2nd of the season as we go 4-1 up. I tell you what, I was very nervous coming into this game playing this formation because we've had some very mixed results so far off camera, but this seems to be going very well as we're about to not concede a 2nd goal. Brito on the ball for as he puts it forward towards Kike again, but not quite reaching its intended target. Schneider, though, does regain possession and Kike shoots from distance and it's disallowed. What for? What's it disallowed for? Where's the offside? It's not even telling me. Not even telling me what's... I presume there was an offside in there. I might watch that back in editing to see if it was offside or not, but I feel very hard done by there. But Kike really wants his first half hat-trick, but can't get that shot on target. The win, by the way, has taken us from 10th to 4th in the table as it stands right now. Yes, it is very early on in the season, but that is a big jump to make. Early in this second half, Marino looking to come forward, although Hernando makes a fantastic last-ditch challenge there as he gets the ball cleared out to Raul Jr. into Randy Schneider, who's here on loan for the rest of the season before joining Getafe properly next season. Unfortunately, we have lost possession. Dobrjevic, the big giant, wins the ball back for us, though, and the ball forward to Raul just not quite timed perfectly there as the highlight continues. I feel like this is such a long highlight. There is going to be a goal at the end of this, and there is. Unfortunately, not for us. And now, only 2 minutes later, another highlight. Again, this formation really is just trying to outscore the opposition. I do feel there's going to be plenty more goals in this game, and potentially one for us now, not quite as they've got the ball cleared, although we've won it at the back. Dobrjevic into Schneider. Schneider to Hernando. Hernando to Brito. Into Shitty back to Schneider. Nice passing play. What a pass that was from Schneider to Kike. That's the sort of passing we're going to miss when he joins Getafe. But we do need the money desperately. And I'm kind of hoping that in a season or two's time we can sell the clause that sells him on for 50% or whatever the clause is for a few £1,000,000. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, as Kike grabs his hat-trick here today as we go 5-2 up. The angle on this, by the way, look how impossible this angle is. And yet he puts it in. Goals, goals, goals in today's game. Absolutely fantastic. In the meantime, Ethan Brito not having a good game. And to be fair, I'm think about swapping him with Eusebio Monzo more and more, because Brito didn't have the best of seasons last year and he's not really hit the ground running this time. So Monzo might become the new starting left back for us. Andre didn't have the best of games either, so we're going to bring Scipio on the pitch for him. Yes, we do have some lone players who are better than Scipio, but I'd rather us be playing Scipio to develop him and progress him whilst we can, as Raul Jr. makes it 6-2. You have come for the right game today. You have come for the right game. When we won that game 4-3 off camera and we scored in the 96th minute to win it, I was gutted I didn't record that. But I think this is a much better team performance. An 8-goal game with the XG ridiculously low for 8 goals. You love to see it. Dobrjevic on the ball. Can we even get another goal in this game, or are we going to concede another one? No, Dobrjevic is so big, he just intercepts that header every single time. I love having him at centre-back. As Martinez looking to come forward. It's a very good ball forward, and somehow they've not scored. So this is what I mean. We just are a little bit leaky at the back. We're not going to set any clean sheet records with this formation. So fantastic result for us there. At 6-2 in the end. A hat-trick for Kike. All of our strikers getting on the score sheet as well, so it's fantastic for them. I can't believe how good Kike is. I mean, he obviously played very well in Season 1 in Gibraltar, because he obviously just is a fantastic player for Gibraltar. But he's just hit the ground running here in Spain as well, and just, he can't stop scoring. I'm very surprised that no one has tried to bid for him or buy him, because he's a proven goal scorer. Racing Club de Ferrol are unhappy with the loan spell for Lasley. Now, Lasley was one of these guys we signed very early on, who was terrible. On loan, obviously, we signed. I want to terminate. Oh, we can terminate it. Good. I don't want him here. I don't want to pay his wages. Let's get him out. Next up, though, is Linares, and it's time to maybe just make a couple of tweaks to the lineup. Unfortunately, Andre Shitijel's had a bit of a poor start to the season for us. A 6.58 average rating in the past 5 games, 6.6 overall. So I'm going to drop him for a game or two for, if we can find him, Mustafa Yaya. Also want to swap Brito over with Eusebio Monzo too. And I think in the interest of squad rotation, Onino Jr. needs to come on for Martel Taylor Crosdale as well. So theoretically, an easier game for us this evening, but we know what this division's like. This division is so tight in terms of, you know, how good the teams are, because the players are all so similar. So it's going to be very difficult either way to get a win. Inside of a couple of minutes of this Mariano Granada game, it's 3-1 to Mariano, so that's pretty mad. In our game, nothing's happened for the entire first half. Not a single sausage of a highlight, which is kind of okay, because it means we're not conceding goals, and we probably should do quite a few with this formation, but we haven't scored any. I'm going to throw a bottle at half-time. Far from pleased from what I've just seen. A mix of reactions there from the players. But hopefully, with a bit more of an attacking stance and shouting, demand more out there, we might see something in the second half. Please don't concede. I've done a bad thing, haven't I? I've demotivated the players. We're going to concede a goal at the start of the second half, aren't we? I can nearly see it coming. It does say something as well when Anthony Ward is currently on a 7.4 rating. It does suggest he's had to make some decent saves in that first half. But finally, a highlight maybe coming towards us, although maybe not because Raul can't win the ball in the air. And it's Linares looking to come forward. Come on, boys, let's get the challenge in there as Cruz on the ball. Forward, collected by Anthony Ward. Okay, let's build out slowly from the back. Hernando. Forward, that's not quite slowly building out from the back, but at least we've got it out from the backers. That's a great ball from Kike to Raul Jr., who gets it into the back of the net. What a fantastic move. I think that was Onino knocking it down to Kike. It was Onino knocks it down to Kike. Kike just pings it across to Raul Jr., and that's that front three combining beautifully. Unfortunately, there's a highlight straight from kickoff, which makes me very, very nervous. Right, so let's see what happens with this one then as Linares on the ball, looking to bring it forward. Please get a challenge in here, boys. Let's not let them score right from the off. We need to get the challenge. Dobrievic, huge slide challenge there. That was a huge interception from Dobrievic. But I tell you what's not very good. Onino getting an injury. That's a bit dangerous. Martel Telecrosdale on you come the pitch. Randy Schneider on the best of games either. So Roger Martinez, the chap in on loan, come on the pitch. A little risky to do that actually with 25 minutes or so to go, given how good Randy Schneider is. And a free kick for Linares now has gone all the way through. And are we going to get this one cleared? Kind of through Crosdale. That's a fantastic ball to Raul Jr. And Raul gets his second of the game. And that should wrap up the 6 points from today's episode. To be fair, this is some vision from Crosdale. What a ball that is over the top. And Raul using his pace and I guess footballing ability and know-how to get past the defenders into the area. And the shot was very difficult to score actually because the angle was pretty difficult for him as well. So fair play. And we've also kept a clean sheet so far too. So maybe this 4-3-3 isn't quite as bad as I was making it out to be, as Kike now gets in on the score sheet. That was a goal and a half. What a strike from him. What an absolute strike that. I mean, I didn't mean to skip it. I didn't mean to do that. I'm not going back either, so you can rewind the video if you want to see it again. But it was a very, very good goal as Martinez into Crosdale. Can we grab a fourth from this game in the second half? Throwing that water bottle at half-time really worked very, very well for us as Gabilondo wins the ball back. Dobrievic back to Anthony Ward. Anthony Ward into Hernando, into Martinez, into Yaya. The passing we've got is fantastic. And can Raul Jr. get his hat-trick? Oh, it's so close to getting that hat-trick as the ball is almost kept alive by Kike. And with only added time left on the clock, I am pretty confident we're going to pick up the 3 points today. And I'd like us to keep a clean sheet as well as Crosdale gets the ball to Raul Jr. Can he find the ball across to Kike? Can he? He can. Kike. Kike gets on the score sheet again for his 10th of the season. Can you believe we've scored 10 goals in today's episode? What a performance. I won't press skip this time. You can watch this goal in all its glory as Raul just finds Kike beautifully unmarked, and it's a fantastic header. And there we go, a huge result for us there, a 4-0 victory. And I must say actually, 11 shots there, 13 shots. We were clinical today. Onino, unfortunately, out for 3 to 4 weeks. That's not so good for the young 18-year-old, but he'll be back, I'm sure, very, very soon. Let's see the other games and the results of the other games in our division, and then we'll see where we finish up today's episode in the table. But I think it's looking pretty good for us. 5th place, up from 10th. We are on 14 points, only 2 points behind La Jolla in 1st. It's a good episode. I think next episode we're going to come back for Almeria B and basically Sevilla B. It's Sevilla Atletico they're called, but Sevilla B basically. The battle of the B teams. I think these are 2 big games to play. Speaking of B teams, let's have a quick check on our B team and the squad. They are currently 3rd in the Gibraltar National League. Who's scoring the goals for them? This guy. Well done. They are 7 points off Mons Cowper, but they do have a game in hand and things like that. So it's looking okay for the B team. But thank you ever so much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have done, drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.